and welcome to another edition of the Sports Buck as we're here tonight for the Eastern Regional 4A Men's Lacrosse Final between Cardinal Gibbons and Middle Creek for the third straight year. I'm joined by Bryce Herring and Charlie Reeder. Middle Creek comes in at 18-2, averaging 14 goals per game, while Cardinal Gibbons comes in at 16-4, averaging 13 goals per game. So, with these teams so similar, what's going to be the big difference in who wins this game tonight?
I'd really say that the key here is a face-off. I mean, the face-off is going to be a big part of that. Whoever wins the face-off here, definitely going to have a big handle in this game and a lot of control in the outcome of this.
Yeah, Graham Schwartz has been one of the most successful on the face-off in recent North Carolina history. He's been a pivotal role in the Middle Creek roster this season, and definitely one to look out for tonight.
Yeah, like you said, Graham Schwartz has been a big reason, a big part of why Middle Creek has made a run to the state championship the last 2 years, and a big part of why they won it 2 years ago and were runner-up last year. So, and as you said, he's also been a big part this year, as the face-off is going to be between Graham Schwartz for Middle Creek and Nick Gorman for Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, that's something to really key in on. That's going to be big. And Middle Creek, I'd say, has an upper hand on that.
Actually, no, Jalen Brooks is going to take the face-off for the Crusaders tonight. As we were off, and the face-off is won by Middle Creek.
Yeah, that's a great start for Middle Creek there.
As Owen Harrison picks it up, gets around one defender, loses the ball from behind, knocked away by Diego Roman for the Crusaders. Fumble, just ball in the thing, and that's going to be an early goal by number 32, Tate Jones, his 41st goal on the year.
He has been insane in these playoffs. He had a really great last round with, I believe, 7 goals. I mean, he put on a show and really a great start. Couldn't ask for a better start from this Middle Creek team.
Yeah.
It should be a tight game.
Yeah, you won the face-off, and you kind of got it in, and you lost it, but then you kind of, when the ball was in that little scrum, you won it, and then you ended up getting Tate Jones was right there. With 44 goals on the year, he's not going to miss that point-blank shot.
Oh, yeah. That's just really good hustle on the Middle Creek team. When the ball's in there and you got a scuffle, that's great hustle and great focus there from the Middle Creek team to keep that ball.
Another solid win by Graham Schwartz there on the face-off, and
David Baird has it now. And Riley Mayer is in goal for the Crusaders tonight, as he's allowed 79 goals this year. Well, now 80 goals now on 207 shots. And like you were saying, he was great last year. And the game last year that was a classic, Riley Mayer was great. He kept the Crusaders in the game last year, and Lance Skelton for the Mustangs also kept Middle Creek in the game last year. But Tate Jones isn't going to miss that point-blank shot. It doesn't matter how good of a goalie you are. When you're that good of an offensive attackman, you're not going to miss from that point-blank. Yeah. As Jake Caputo with an errant pass, so Crusaders are going to have a chance for their first offensive possession of the night.
It's a good look there. Just really tough to handle on that pass. I mean, that's a tricky ball to handle. But if it's handled right, I mean, that's 2-0 Middle Creek really quick.
Middle Creek with that front attack that we're used to, consisting of Jake Caputo, Nathan Greenberg, and Tate Jones, they've just been able to put up goals this season, each of them with over 30.
As Will Stock brings it up the field for the Crusaders, the senior captain.
Yeah, that offense has really helped Middle Creek because they could just keep the ball up there with their physicality and speed, and it's a really great mix for them.
And both these offenses are both kind of senior-heavy, but at the same time, Cardinal Gibbons is led by Caden Zadell, who has 36 goals on the year, and he's a freshman. In Middle Creek, Tate Jones, who just scored, who now has 41, he's a freshman. So both offenses are, even though they're kind of top-heavy, like senior-wise, they still have enough freshmen in that these offenses are not going to skip a beat with the graduation this year.
A turnover by Gibbons, and Mustangs will result with a possession, and you can see junior Ben Lever just going up the field, doing a great job with possession of the ball, and finds Jake Caputo.
Well, it's great when you have a defender with the strength and ability like Ben Lever that he can just hold on a ball and run it all the way through into the midfield and just dump it off. I mean, that helps a lot. That lays away turnovers and costly turnovers in your own half.
Yeah, Jake Caputo, the last of the 3 Caputo siblings to lacrosse-wise to come through Middle Creek, as his oldest sibling Sam Caputo played lacrosse 4 years for the women's team, is now at ECU playing lacrosse. And then his older brother, who just graduated last year, Owen Caputo, who left Middle Creek as the greatest lacrosse player to come through Middle Creek, leading in all-time points and goals in North Carolina history, is now at Duke, where Jake will be next year as well.
Owen just this weekend scored his first collegiate point with Duke in their first round of the NCAA tournament, so we'd love to congratulate him for that.
Yeah, that was a close game, too. That was a hard-fought game.
Yeah, Tate Jones there with the try to put a spin move there on Davis McCain but got tripped up and was able to get it the Mustangs. As Riley Mayer with the save on the shot by Nathan Greenberg. It's going to be brought up the field by Ian Gandy, who just gets leveled out of bounds by Camion White. And the crowd, as you can hear, going crazy after that hit.
And Jake Caputo just stepped up and just gave him the boom, and Middle Creek gets the possession after that. What a turnover. They just made sure after their turnover, they chased down the ball and hard work, and they got it back.
That's going to stick with the Gibbons players. A hit like that early, that's really setting the tone. That's a great job there.
You always talk about setting the tone early, so kind of with that hit, it's probably an indication it's going to be a physical game. No matter how it turns out, it's going to be a physical game.
Campion White here pushing out to the right. He's going to find Nathan Greenberg behind the net. Looks to be calling a play up and finds it over to Tate Jones.
Yeah, trying to
6
work
Mustangs.
Tate Jones with the spin move. He looks to take a shot.
Rotates it out to Braden Harrison. You got 6 Mustangs in the offensive end versus obviously 6 Crusaders. Campion White pushing it on the right-hand side. Middle Creek can't really find anything to work, but if they can keep possession, I'm sure they'll find a way to get this ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's not about working it quick. You know, you got to lead. You can take off time and get a good shot, which you almost had right there. They're going to call what I believe is a crease violation.
Cooling comes up with it. It's going to be taken up the field by Bryce Vovajit. As it's taken away it's knocked out by Carson Scott. And Ben Lever comes up with it.
Carson caught him not paying attention there, not really in it. Great job there by Carson.
But defensively, what Gibbons is looking to do, which is what they did last year, which is what really kind of plagued the Middle Creek offense.
Timeout, Middle Creek.
We have a timeout here by Middle Creek, so we're going to take a quick break. Middle Creek leading 1-0 with 7:09 to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back after a quick Middle Creek timeout with Middle Creek leading 1-0 with 7:09 left to go in the first quarter. So, like I was saying before the break, what Cardinal Gibbons looks to do on defense is make Middle Creek take these low percentage outside shots. Was what they did last year, which really really hindered the offense for Middle Creek last year. As they only scored 6 in the win, but at the same time they only held to Gibbons to 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal every game. When you get really close up, you're getting a lot easier shot. You're getting a lot better chance of putting it on target, which is what you got to do to score. So
And when it becomes that, you kind of have to rely on your best players. As last year, kind of became the Owen Caputo show, as he kind of had two crazy goals to kind of ignite the Middle Creek offense. The shot here is high from Graham Schwartz, the face-off man for the Mustangs. Is a rotational player on the offensive end for the Mustangs, as Tate Jones brings it around and gets it over to Graham Schwartz, who gets it back over to Jake Caputo.
And just holding possession here. I mean, Gibbons has only had 2 times on the attack.
And that's going to be a goal here by Jake Caputo to make the score 2-0 Middle Creek with 6:15 to go in the first quarter. And that's Jake Caputo's 72nd goal on the year.
That is incredible. That is a great shot. I mean, that is so tough to stop as a goalkeeper. And, I mean, Gibbons has one of the highest quality goalkeepers you could find. I mean, just a really good keeper, but you're going to get beat by a shot like that.
And like we were talking about, like, Middle Creek has had the ball so much more. Like, in any sport, when you have the ball so much more than the other team, even if the other team is really good defensively, eventually those shots are going to start to fall because the more looks you get, you're going to figure out what's working and not. So the more Middle Creek can hold the ball, the more it favors Middle Creek. As Graham Schwartz wins this, is almost off to the races, as it's picked up by Luke McDonald for the Mustangs, who tight ropes the sideline. The Gibbons fans are up in arms as they think he stepped out, but the refs think otherwise, so we play on.
And Middle Creek has been so effective on the offensive end this year due to the fact that they play a game that does so well shifting towards the goal that Gibbons' defense is going to have to compress right in front of the goal, not allowing anyone to be behind the net. So Middle Creek, anytime, like we just saw here, as they don't get it, they're able to just receive the ball every time they miss the net, as they're going to be closer to the ball when it goes out of bounds. So they are always on the attack, and that's why their goal amounts have been so high this season.
Yeah, and the last couple of years with Owen Caputo, who was arguably the best player lacrosse-wise in North Carolina State history, is like just every year you had to defend him because he was going 100-plus goals a year. So you just kind of had to defend him, and it was kind of like he was easily scoring a lot more than everybody else, so the goal totals for everybody else wasn't as much. But now this year with him gone, obviously Jake Caputo leads with a crazy amount, but you still have Tate Jones with 41, David Baird with 36, Nathan Greenberg with 35, so it's kind of like you have more of a rotation, you have more of a second and more defined second, third, fourth option for the Mustangs this year.
Middle Creek, you can see their defense is very well compressed here. They're working well, and they're really doing a good job, a lot better job than Gibbons of forcing them to take outside shots. They're just passing around the outside and holding them off from getting in.
Yeah. And on the other side for Gibbons, they don't really have one bona fide true number one scorer, as the top scorer has 36, and it's 35, 26, 29, 24, and 22, and 19. So Gibbons is more of a scorer by committee, so it's just kind of like, which benefits Gibbons, which is another way to go, because you can't you can't really double team one guy because everybody's just kind of just as good, so you can't focus in on, okay, this is definitely the guy they're going to go to. Like, you just have to play good defense, which Middle Creek is known for.
Middle Creek back on the attack with those 3 attackers I was talking about earlier. And here's Nathan Greenberg. Goes to Tate back door, and it's 3.
And Middle Creek is off and running here, as that makes the score 3-0 with 4:03 to go in the first quarter.
And that's just beautiful offense. Tate Jones was able to read the goalie so well. He saw him coming across the net, so he just went right under him.
That's just a great job. I mean, it was solid recovery there by Gibbons, but just a great idea there to get the pass off and wide open backdoor pass to Tate. He's got to put that away 99% of the time.
And like you were saying earlier, Bryce, Middle Creek has done so well, specifically Graham Schwartz, so well on the face-off, as we're going to see right here. It's just led them to have the ball with possession after every face-off. So every time there's a goal, they just get it back and go to the offense. This time doesn't go their way, but...
And as Graham jumped a little bit there, as he jumped a little bit early, so Gibbons is going to get a free, basically face-off win in this end, so they're going to get a offensive possession here.
Well, Gibbons is not a poor face-off team either. I mean, they're 73% of the time getting the face-off for themselves. So that is really holding them down and really putting them out of their comfort zone.
And this offensive possession here for Gibbons is extremely important because you don't want to get the ball back to Middle Creek and potentially go down 4-0. You'd rather get the ball, if you get the ball back to Middle Creek, you'd rather it be down 3-1 instead of 4-0. That's a huge difference in what you have to come back from.
Senior Will Stock now not out on the field currently. He's been the main facilitator for Gibbons tonight, trying to change it up a little bit, and it's a great save from Lance Skelton. But Gibbons gets the ball back. Some nice movement, and another block by number 23, Owen Harrison.
Shot there by Matt Pankos there for the Crusaders from dead in the goal. He tried to kind of run it in on the ground.
Yeah, he had the goalie beat. The goalie was not prepared for a low shot there. It's really tough to react like that to that. A great block on what probably could have got Gibbons their opening goal.
And another save on another shot from another great save there by Skelton on a shot there from Trent Orr.
Trent Orr has been one of the most successful freshmen in North Carolina this year, on top of guys like Tate Jones and Braden Harrison. He's done really well for Gibbons, you can see, as one of their main shooters as he receives the ball back here.
Talk about quality from Lance Skelton. I mean, that is a tough save. Bouncing shots like that are tricky, and he kept his body in front, stuck in there, and brilliantly deflected.
And you always like when your goalie can make great saves like that because it just gives him more confidence because, I mean, your goalie is always going to have good confidence, but you like when he makes good saves, especially early on, because it just gives him more confidence that he can stop these shots.
Well, and these guys have such a tight bond. Like, they're willing to risk anything for each other, and they're really connected really well. And, you know, that's a great basis for really good teams.
See a little bit of quicker movement from Gibbons. They've had the possession for a long time. They try to make a move, but it's a good block. Luke McDonald gets it, but he loses it up quick. And Middle Creek and Owen Harrison will end up with the possession.
That was a brilliant cutout there by Owen Harrison.
Still a scramble for the ball.
Trent Orr receives it, and Jake Caputo is really trying to get him, but Trent Orr finds a way to get the ball out of there. Great job by Gibbons.
That's what you like to see from your star attackman. And Jake Caputo for your kind of your main attacker, he has 8 takeaways on the year, which is I believe is second on the team. So he will definitely in transition get after the ball.
Gibbons trying to set up their attack here. Cutting in, but deflected again.
It was blocked. The shot was blocked there by
Owen Harrison again.
Ben Lever looks a little shaken up, but Middle Creek will take this one into the offensive zone, and they got good numbers. Here's Braden Harrison.
And that's Jake Caputo's shot. It's just wide.
Jake fires, but Tate is there. Middle Creek gets back to possession.
Caputo's not going to miss many of those shots. Like he had a clear shot at the goal. He's not going to miss many of those shots.
The rest of the offense was definitely prepared, though, if that did happen.
Mm-hmm.
What we love to see from Middle Creek. Jake back with the ball.
See, Jake Caputo can make a move here, like his brother. As it gets over to Vaughn Schmitz, gets in for the first time today.
David Baird working it down the left-hand sideline. Not much opening for Middle Creek. He rotates around the goal and looks back and back behind the net. Tries to make a nice cut through.
Ooh, off the post.
Off that backhand post. Now Nathan Greenberg going at it, and it will be Middle Creek ball.
I believe they're going to call a block, a push in the back here on number 45 for Gibbons. And that's going to. So at the end of the first quarter, Middle Creek leads 3-0 over Cardinal Gibbons. We'll be right back with the start of the second quarter. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Podcast. We're back for the start of the second quarter with Middle Creek leading 3-0 over the visiting Crusaders of Cardinal Gibbons.
Middle Creek did very well in the first quarter, not only on the offensive end, but we saw some really good work from the midfielders. Carson Scott, Luke McDonald with some very good blocks, and the defense also did a very good job. Ben Lever with a huge stop at the end of the first half. Was a little shaken up after it, but Middle Creek holds Cardinal Gibbons to a goose egg in the first.
Yeah, like you said, Middle Creek did a great job in the first, especially holding possession. And then defensively, Middle Creek did a great job defensively as Graham Schwartz wants to face off again. He's pushed, but that's going to be gobbled up by Luke McDonald, who loses it.
And that's what you love to see from the Middle Creek midfielders, the ability to attack on the offense. Luke McDonald just, after getting that ball, just went straight to the attack and didn't end too well, but that's just a mindset that has really helped him out this season.
As Will Stock now has it for the Crusaders, as his shot is blocked as he goes in.
Luke McDonald back at it again, his third block of the night.
And that's going to be Gibbons' ball. But look at the hustle there by Lance Skelton, the goalie, getting out to try to get that ball for the Mustangs. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, he thought he had it. That was very close there. Insane hustle. He almost won the ball back for him, and that's really what you need, keeping the pressure on him.
Patrick King trying to get some for Cardinal Gibbons.
And that's especially what you like to see from a goalie, because you don't really expect your goalie to run out and try to get those, but that if you're Coach Halota, you love to see that. That's what your definition of hustle is. As another great save there by Skelton on a shot there from Stock.
Wow.
And Lance with already 5 saves on the night. But what Gibbons has done so well is the shots have been very low. And they get it back here, a very good chance. And another stop by Lance Skelton.
Unbelievable. Gibbons looked like they had a wide opportunity, a 3-on-1 there with only the goalkeeper to beat, and could not put it away due to a great deflection there by Lance Skelton to push it out.
A very good check there from David Baird.
And this is kind of what we saw in the first quarter as a pass over to
Greenberg was mishandled there, but he puts it in anyway.
That makes the score 4-0 Middle Creek.
And what a recovery.
After the drop ball by Nathan Greenberg, he said, I'm not going to change that, and he fires one to the right side of the net.
I think the defender got lazy there. I mean, he saw the drop there and was like, all right, we're fine, but Greenberg comes back with a vengeance right there and puts it in.
And I think Cardinal Gibbons was kind of going to assumptions. Middle Creek has played that slow attack tonight, so after the drop, they were maybe thinking that they were just going to slow it down, but that's a good opportunity there for Middle Creek, and Nathan Greenberg takes a major advantage of it.
Yeah, it looked like Middle Creek's plan tonight coming in was play solid, good defense, what they did, and then play solid offense, taking good shots, not taking good shots, not necessarily falling into the taking low percentage shots like Gibbons wants.
Yeah, the game plan was definitely possession offense.
Graham Schwartz wants to face off again. And that shot there is wide there from Greenberg.
Greenberg going back for it again on that left-hand side, and he's very much like an Alexander Ovechkin-minded player with a very quick release. You're going to be seeing a lot from him tonight.
You could tell when Middle Creek gets a breakaway or anything with speed, they're going to Greenberg there on that quick shot.
And that's going to be looks like an errant pass there from Caputo, but they're going to call it a shot, so it's going to stay with Middle Creek as Tate Jones was there to make sure possession stayed with the Mustangs.
Good caught by Greenberg and just puts it wide.
That right side of the net was open. Greenberg saw it, but he just missed it.
He had the whole net. I mean, he had a clean lane right there.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that very often.
And it will be a turnover for Middle Creek. Tate Jones on the fault there, and Gibbons is going to try to make their way up the field as fast as possible.
As Bryce Rozenek slips and loses the ball out of bounds, and
that does not look good.
He is injured, so we're going to take an injury timeout with Middle Creek leading 4-0 with 9:33 to go in the second quarter. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Block, as we're back after an injury delay, as the injured player there was number 18, Bryce Rojnovic for Cardinal Gibbons. Luckily, he was relatively kind of able to get off under his own power, but still, never like to see an injury.
Yeah, and it'd be questionable to see if he'd come back. You never know, but not a great scene here to start the second quarter for Gibbons.
No.
4 unanswered goals. They really need to get something going here, or they're just going to get iced out of this game.
Mm-hmm. You want to get something. You want to get a little rhythm going early before Middle Creek gets, before you get yourselves in too much of a hole.
Well, the good thing about lacrosse is it's a big momentum sport. I mean, once you get the lead, once you get it going.
Another great save there by Skelton.
Once you get it going, I mean, you could really just wrap off goals. I mean, we saw it in the state championship last year. I mean, just quick goal after goal on face-offs and fast breaks like that. Really quick pace. You can get back into a game like that.
Yeah, last year at the state championship, Middle Creek kind of made a run at the end, but kind of just fell short, as that's going to be a goal there. My number 8, Griffin Cooling for the Crusader.
Yeah,
so
that's how you respond there. That's a big goal into the
that's a huge,
top right there.
Yeah, that's a
Brilliant.
huge goal for the Crusaders, as that makes the score 4-1 Middle Creek with 8:41 to go in the second quarter.
Mustang defense definitely wasn't ready for Cooling to just kind of fire that one out of nowhere. The sophomore lefty definitely wasn't expected, and he goes top left-hand corner, and it's going to be a 4-1 lead, still in favor of the Mustangs, but the clean sheet is over for Lance Skelton.
That's big there, though. Like, that's a tough shot, and you're in a tough spot as Gibbons. That's what you need to get back in it.
And we're going to have we're going to get a penalty, or we're going to get a foul called on Gibbons for the push in the back there on Schwartz.
I love the hustle of Graham Schwartz. He's really done a great job with that. Really hustling if he messes it up. Making sure Middle Creek gets it no matter what.
A turnover Middle Creek's way, as Jake Caputo is not able to find Tate Jones. And Gibbons back with the ball, and there's almost another injury in that same spot.
Yeah, you wonder if it's that part of the field, something's wrong there, because that injury really didn't look like it was on the push or anything.
As Patrick King has it now for the Crusaders.
We'll stalk back with it, the facilitator for Gibbons tonight. They've played a very slow game, but like we saw last time, a goal can come from anywhere at any time. Middle Creek needs to know that.
As Joe Torres has it now, another one of the Crusader captains, as he fires, and it's just left with the goal. And again, Skelton trying to get out there to try to win the ball back for his team, but Gibbons' player was already too close to it.
Well, you could tell Gibbons is adapting to what Middle Creek's defense is showing them. They know they're going to have to take outside shots because Middle Creek is not going to let them get in there. They're doing a good job with it.
And that's going to be a goal there for number 51, Caden Zadell, the leading scorer for the Crusaders. Now the Crusader with his 37th goal in the year. So like that, all of a sudden, Cardinal Gibbons has 2 unanswered goals after being down 4-0.
That's a great shot, too. I mean, unbelievable. That's not an easy shot to take at all. That is a high-risk, low-reward chance there, and he puts it in there on the reward there. Incredible, and really a very risky shot on his part.
Yeah, what a shot from Zadell. Not the biggest player on the field, but has been the most effective from Cardinal Gibbons this season. The freshman makes it 4-2.
As a face-off is picked up by it's picked up.
Oh, and he takes it all the way.
And what a goal from Luke McDonald. We were just talking about it earlier. He has got the ability to go right to the offensive end.
He's a little fireball out there. I mean, just like that. I mean, he's a ball of energy. He can just turn anything into a great opportunity. Ran right in there for a great chance.
Yeah, that's a huge goal for Middle Creek because Cardinal Gibbons looked like they had all the momentum up to that point. It looked like Middle Creek had lost all momentum, but now all of a sudden Middle Creek gets one of those goals back.
What a takeaway from Luke McDonald. He's got 5 tonight.
Long for goal.
But his biggest one is right before the 5th Middle Creek goal, 5-2.
Oh, and a big hit by the substitute for Gibbons, number 3,
Ian
Camacho.
Evans.
Unbelievable there, right off the bench into a big hit.
Gibbons has the numbers, and they're going to take advantage. Caden with his 2nd goal. And they were just quick on that one. It seemed like it was a 10 versus 1. They just moved. That is ball movement at its finest. But we do have an injury on the field. It's going to be Braden Harrison. That was after the check.
Yeah, and as he kind of gets off and gets off the field kind of gingerly.
Man, that came out of nowhere from a game that's been complete possession and kind of slower paced. I mean,
and
it's changed into a really quick tempo, high energy game just like that. Change of game plan there clearly by both sides, and high goal percentage here as a result of the change.
Yeah, back-to-back goals off of midfielder takeaways. Now we have to, in what seemed like a slow pace game, we're going to have to watch out for the quick attack.
Yeah.
Schwartz wins the face-off again as he looks to take it down. Down as he has an open lane to the goalie. Gets it over to Greenberg. Gets it over. That's
good look by
Oh,
Greenberg.
knocked away by Owen Harrison, but crowd again by the Crusaders. As Jake Caputo knocks that away from the from Gibbons. So Jake Caputo, the kind of star player for the Mustangs, doing it all.
Good
as
pass
David
by
Barrett
Caputo
has it
there.
now.
Really opened him up, got him a good look, and got him down there. Really secure hands there of Caputo. Nothing to worry about there, no turnover chance. Has a great pass.
A turnover from Nathan Greenberg, and Cardinal Gibbons is making their way up the field with numbers again. And a stoppage of play will result after a timeout is called by Cardinal Gibbons.
So with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, Middle Creek leads 5-3. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back after a Cardinal Gibbons timeout with Middle Creek leading 5-3 with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, and a change of pace there for both teams has been the key here for a lot of goals in the second quarter, as both teams are coming with a high tempo kind of offense, and it's worked very well for both sides.
Cardinal Gibbons will have possession of the ball after the turnover from Nathan Greenberg on the Middle Creek offensive end, and they're going to try to take advantage of this opportunity.
Middle Creek on the defensive side clearly pushing out more, giving them more of the middle as they've given up some goals from the outer side as Gibbons is hitting their shots. So a good change here, and we'll see how it works out for Middle Creek.
We're seeing two of Gibbons' freshmen on the attack here, Trent Orr and Caden Zadell, with all three of their goals tonight have resulted from the freshmen.
Great last-minute job there on the crease by Owen Harrison to push him over. That could have been a really good look for Gibbons there on the edge.
Great ball movement from the Crusaders, trying to slow down Middle Creek's offense, and it's going to be a block from Ben Lever.
Great save there by Skelton on the shot from Trent Orr.
Ben Lever just moving across the crease there, put his body in front of it, blocked it with a foot. Uncommon block there, but a great job there by Ben Lever, a very sound defender.
Gibbons still with possession, playing it slow and methodical as they have most of the night.
Just working for a shot. They're definitely trying to work for that shot on that right-hand side that they've been hitting off. They've been really effective from that side.
Yeah, they're taking a page out of Middle Creek's book now, in that they are just trying to take it slow, just not necessarily take not take low percentage shots. Make sure they're taking good shots.
Doing a great job on the hustle there from Luke McDonald to make sure they got the ball in the possession there. Really great job there.
Jake Caputo has it now.
Yeah, Luke McDonald, he's been the star of tonight. He's just done everything from the defensive end to the offensive end. Coach Loda's got to be pleased with his efforts, and it's allowed Middle Creek to be back on the offensive attack.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you want from a midfield guy like Luke McDonald. I mean, he's working great on both ends, and that's what you need in a midfielder.
As David Baird has it now. David Baird takes a shot, and it's high. It's high of the goal. And this possession is going to stay with Middle Creek as Tate Jones starts out with it.
Yeah, David Baird going to his beloved right-hand side, trying to make a move with the shot. And now Graham Schwartz tries to do the same, but a good save. And the Gibbons goalie's out.
And they're going to call it Cardinal Gibbons' ball.
Risky move there by the goalie. He was way out. If he was dispossessed there, that could have been a fatal mistake there. Giving Middle Creek complete control of the game again.
Gibbons back with the ball. They had the numbers, but they didn't take advantage of it, and Middle Creek was able to regroup defensively. So Gibbons back to slowing it down. Trent Orr and Caden Zadell as the two facilitators right now. Will Stock not on the field for the Crusaders.
Still just working it around and loses it in the sun there. That's going to be Middle Creek's poor turnover there. Just the shadows of what the time is putting them off there.
And we're going to have another timeout here by Cardinal Gibbons. So with 3:04 left in the second quarter, Middle Creek leads 5-3. We'll be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back after a Cardinal Gibbons timeout with 3:04 left in the second quarter with Middle Creek leading Cardinal Gibbons 5-3.
We saw some quick back and forth goals not too long ago, but the game has definitely slowed down since. A couple injuries later, and that slow mindset's back in this game.
Yeah, I think Gibbons is actually going to probably shift back to that fast pace. They want to bring it close. You need some momentum going into the half, and I think they really need to get one back here if they really want some good momentum going in.
As Owen Harrison is, as Chase Young brings it down, but he just does not realize he's chased down from behind, so he loses the ball.
Yeah, and Chase Young, not usually on the offensive end. He's primarily a defender, as you can see there. A good job by him on the defensive end. Might have been a reason of his turnover.
Yeah, that was just poor awareness on his part.
As miscommunication there between Ben Lever and then Jake Caputo and kind of who the ball was going towards. And we're going to have a timeout now by Middle Creek. So with 2:25 to go in the second quarter. Middle Creek leads 5-3. We'll be right back to the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog. We're back after a quick Middle Creek timeout with the Mustangs leading the Crusaders 5-3 with 2:25 left in the second quarter.
A much needed timeout there. I think Coach Halota was thinking we need to regroup. Looked a little sloppy there on the offensive side. Regroup, refocus.
Kind of go over what he wants, kind of what the game plan is going to be for this last 2 minutes and change of the first half so that they can go into the second half with the momentum.
Right. This is a big last 2 minutes here. You know, going into a half here, you really want that momentum. I mean, Middle Creek definitely has some great momentum up here, 5-3, but, you know, you could always get more. You get some big stops, big hits, and even a great goal would be great for the Mustangs, really.
Yeah.
Give them some distance on the
Like you said, this is a huge last 2 minutes because this could really determine who is probably going to win this game, because most likely whoever goes into the second half with the momentum, they have a good chance of coming out victorious. So if you're Middle Creek, you want to extend your lead, get a goal or two to kind of extend your lead. And if you're Cardinal Gibbons, you want to cut into this lead and ultimately either go in the halftime tied or maybe even leading. As Jake Caputo looks to see if he could have a shot over to Von Schmitz.
Good awareness there as he was getting doubled to find the man that was open, but couldn't really get anything out of that.
And you can see what the game plan that Coach Halota was trying to call up is. Middle Creek definitely did not want to lose possession of the ball in these final minutes. You can see they're making sure they're not going to give up any goals, but only have the opportunity to score one. And they haven't had too many good opportunities yet.
The message was probably like, only take a shot if you have a shot. So pretty much like, if you have a clear shot at the goal, he's going to tell his players to take it. But like, if they don't have a clear shot, then don't take it unless, of course, you're like Jake Caputo or Tate Jones. But even then, he might even say, just don't take a shot unless you're confident that you're going to make it.
And
great save by Skeleton.
I mean, who better to hold the ball in this last couple minutes than the sure hands of Jake Caputo? I mean, just smart coaching there, keeping it in his hands.
Caputo, very calm and collected, but his pass over to Harrison doesn't end up with the best result, and Gibbons will hold the ball in their final seconds of the half.
Yeah, Caputo hasn't been great tonight on his passes, necessarily. As this is a scrum for the ball in front of the Middle Creek goal.
And it looks like it's going to be a shoving call on Luke McDonald. Gibbons will have the ball.
I don't believe Coach. And so that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. So at the end of the first half, Middle Creek leads Cardinal Gibbons 5-3. We'll be right back with the start of the second half. You're watching the Sports Blog. And welcome back to the Sports Block, as we're back for the start of the second half with Middle Creek leading Cardinal Gibbons 5-3. So we should be in for a entertaining second half as the winner goes to the state championship next week to face the winner of Audrey Kell and Page.
Oh, yeah. Both teams, nothing's going to be held back here in this last half here. Really going to see a lot of hustle plays, a lot of hard work, and we're seeing it right here on a very tough face-off.
A good kick from Luke McDonald. And Middle Creek will get possession. Owen Harrison with it.
Nice flip there by Graham Schwartz to Harrison to kind of get out of the reach of the Gibbons players.
Back with the famous attack of Middle Creek. Owen Harrison coming off the field, but we got David Baird, Jake Caputo, Vaughn Schmitz, Nathan Greenberg, and freshman Tate Jones on the field. Middle Creek needs some goals in the second half. Only 5 in the first. They do have the lead, but I'm sure they want more.
Yeah, Middle Creek skyrocketed, sped to that out to that 4-0 lead, and just kind of fell flat for a while as Gibbons scored 2 unanswered in the Middle Creek, and then they exchanged goals.
You could see that Gibbons is definitely pressing more on this defensive half. They're really trying to push them further and further out in there. Trying to put pressure on them to create turnovers.
Vaughn Schmitz.
Vaughn Schmitz with the shot, but to no avail. So Tate Jones will bring it in now for the Mustangs.
Nathan Greenberg doesn't take a chance of his opportunity as Middle Creek will now rotate around Jake Caputo. He's going to try to make a move behind the net.
As Jake Caputo slips a little bit there, but is able to hold possession of the ball as he gets it out to Baird.
You can see the Gibbons coach motioning for them to move up, and a great save.
That was
in transition here.
As Stickland is going to bring it up for the Crusaders, and that's a goal there by number 51, Caden Zadell, his 3rd of the night.
Man, Gibbons' counterattack has been their key. They have been incredible on that. A great play to get a great look, and really nothing the defense can do there. Just a quick release and a great job of getting in an open space.
And that offense all started from the great save from goalkeeper Riley Meyer on the very hard shot from David Baird. Gibbons goes up the field, moves the ball quickly, and Caden Zadell finds himself with a hat trick already. 5-4, still the Mustangs lead, but Gibbons making a quick comeback.
We talk about transition in sports. Transition is in sports with transition, like basketball and lacrosse, is big. As we're going to have a penalty here on Gibbons, a foul here on Gibbons, so it's going to be Middle Creek's ball.
The face-off team has done an incredible job all night, and it's put them in a good spot, but Gibbons' counterattack has been just a great resource for them.
Yeah, Cardinal Gibbons' defense has really tightened after allowing those 4 early goals. It's just really Mayer's kind of stepped up as long as his defense. I think everybody on the defensive side of the ball for Gibbons has stepped up. But the offense has also stepped up too.
And you can see their coach keeps on pointing, trying to keep pushing, and it's created turnovers here.
And Braden Harrison goes all out for the ball.
This Gibbons team is a tough team. They are getting beat up here, and really great hits here by Middle Creek, but they're keeping the ball still, and they're going to look to equalize here on the attack.
Crowd getting really into this one as we got a close game, and Gibbons closing in on that lead.
Yeah, the crowd's going to play a factor here in these closing minutes, too, as
we
see a ball go off the crossbar.
It's loose up front, and it's a goal.
Will
Stock. The first initial shot bounced right up under the crossbar and found itself in the crease. Middle Creek defenders complaining.
Ben Lever unhappy. He was pushed in the back as the ball was loose as he was trying to pick it up. What he thought was a clear push, the refs clearly saw it. And there are no foul calls. We see an equalize in a hard-fought goal there. And just the strength and hustle of Gibbons is kind of stunned Middle Creek at the start of this.
And not only was there was a push, but that ball was taken in the goalkeeper's crease. It seemed like he was in a penalized area. So the goal is through, and we have a 5-5 game, but a little controversy here early in the second half.
Well, as long as you aren't in the crease. There's no crease violation. So also just a smart play, heads-up play by Gibbons.
And so after Middle Creek got out to that 4-0 lead, Gibbons is outscoring the Mustangs 5-1.
Well, that's what you need. I mean, it's all about momentum. And as we've seen here, I mean, the goals are just coming in pairs in a sense, you know, in succession. You know, it's not as much back and forth as it's really a one side thing.
The confidence of Middle Creek seemed to be lacking a little bit after that last goal. Not too much fight on the face-off. They really need to get themselves in gear here, as Gibbons can score another.
And give credit to Gibbons for battling back. When they were down in that 4-0 hole early, they could have easily, as that shot is wide, they could have easily given up, kind of gave in, like, okay, Middle Creek's just obviously the better team, and just kind of gave in, but they battled back. So give them credit for that.
I think when you have a team that scores as much as Gibbons, you know, they're never out of a game. Like, both of these teams are very good scoring teams. Neither of these teams are going to be out of a game until it gets into the 20s.
And also that's kind of like a good sign that they're a well-coached team and have good mindset that they've made it this far. They know they're going to face adversity, as they beat Apex on a buzzer beater in the last round, which easily could have gone the opposite way. So that just kind of, and to honestly get this far in any playoffs, you have to be mentally, you're obviously well coached, mentally have the right mindset. As great save there by Skelton.
And good distribution there by Skelton.
McDonald's going to bring it up for the Mustangs. Gets it over to Jones.
Luke McDonald, a great job on the transition. We've seen it all night. And now Middle Creek can put their focus into the offensive end. Jake Caputo now with the ball.
Jones over to Caputo. Caputo kind of gets out to the top.
Oh, and a key thing here, McDonald looks either out of breath or maybe hurt. Not a good sign there for Middle Creek as he goes out for a substitution.
Looks like he may have got the wind blown out of him or might be cramping a little bit.
Yeah.
Tate Jones working behind the net. Makes a move to his left. Finds Braden Harrison up front. And it's going to be a block by Gibbons. And they are going to be moving their way up. Middle Creek loses the possession again.
Well, Gibbons, it's been very clear that their goal on the defensive side is to force turnovers, put the pressure on them to handle the ball well. And Middle Creek has not handled the ball as well as they should, especially in this half. And I feel like Coach Loda is going to shift to more Jake Caputo holding the ball. He's very calm. He holds the ball very well. And I think that's the change that they need to make in this end of the third and going into the fourth.
And that's part of the gameplay that we can kind of see from Gibbons now. It's going to be very Will Stock facilitated. Now that they are tied and have possession, they don't want to lose that possession and maybe go down. They want to stay tied at the worst and maybe take a lead.
Right.
As Will Stock now has it for the Crusaders.
Dancing around, but Middle Creek doing a great job of keeping them out. But you just wonder how long, if Gibbons keeps possession, that they're going to be able to hold it.
A high stick up by Chase on Patrick Young, and that's a very good job by Chase Young. But Gibbons will result with the ball. And it's going to be a timeout called by Gibbons.
Good timeout there. Much needed. Settle him.
So with 4:57 to go in the third quarter, we're tied at 5. We'll be right back with the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog, as we're back after a Crusaders timeout with the score tied at 5 with 4:57 to go in the third quarter. So, if you're just joining us, Middle Creek got out to a 4-0 lead early, and since then, Cardinal Gibbons has outscored the Mustangs 5-1. That's kind of been the story of this game. Middle Creek got out to a fast start, but since then, it's been all Cardinal Gibbons.
Well, the key to the game has definitely been coaching changes. Gibbons has clearly adjusted better to what Middle Creek come out with, and Middle Creek is going to have to change their game plan here, work something different, and then adjust to the defense that they're faced with.
High shot there by Will Strickland for the captain of by Will Stock there by the Crusaders.
And you can already see some of the adjustments that Coach Halotto is putting into this Mustang team. Will Stock, definitely the facilitator of the Crusaders offense. He's going to have Jake Caputo defending him on the defensive end. You don't see him there a lot. But Jake Caputo, one of the most well-balanced players on this team, and you can see it right there.
As Caputo knocks it away from the Crusaders.
And they're just trying to go with that leader-on-leader, captain-on-captain mindset. The best of the best defending each other. And a very good takeaway from Chase Young. And Middle Creek moves their way up the field. David Baird now in possession.
David Baird knocks it away. It's kind of a scrum for it. Gets behind a Gibbons player. Still scrum for it. Jake Caputo comes up with it.
And that's the best player you'd want to have the ball fall to there. Clean pickup there and clean handling as it goes through traffic.
No doubt, he just kind of saw the ball was bouncing around in traffic and just ran through and just kept running. As we do have a flag thrown on the play, so we have a delayed penalty here.
Yeah, and this is a free play. This is where Middle Creek can really capitalize here with the penalty down and going to have a man-up situation that's also going to be very important. But if you score before it, that works out even better.
Gibbons, yeah, with not a good line change, it leads to too many men on the field. And now Nathan Greenberg taking advantage of it, and it just gets the crossbar. Braden Harrison racing to it. Two Crusaders defenders after him, and the play will stop the penalty on Cardinal Gibbons.
And we'll see what Coach Halotto's got for this man-up situation. This is a big turning point in the game. We've got it tied here. If Gibbons can ice this man-up situation, just let the clock tick off on it, that is going to have a lot of momentum for them. But it's just as easily Middle Creek can score on this with the man-up. And it's just, we're going to see how well they practice man-up plays. It's going to be
And the big thing about that delayed penalty was obviously Middle Creek got a chance to score with even strength before the penalty even got into effect, and that when the ball went out of bounds in Middle Creek still retained possession because the penalty was on Cardinal Gibbons. So no matter what, Middle Creek could not do wrong there, which is an advantage to the Mustangs.
Right.
We haven't seen any offsides tonight, so both teams not experienced to this situation, at least tonight. Middle Creek definitely going to try to take advantage of it. Greenberg with a rip.
You cannot give him that much space with what he's done tonight. He's been ripping them from distance all night. Too much space there.
Yeah, as you were talking about, that's the first penalty tonight on either team. As Nathan Greenberg is going to score again to get the Mustangs a 6-5 lead.
And that's a play that you could see coming from a mile away. Nathan Greenberg was making a cut for a long time. Tate Jones actually found him on the back end of the cut. Cardinal Gibbons head coach saw it coming, but the players on the field, the ones that mattered, did not. Yeah. 6'5".
The Gibbons man defender on him saw it, but just slipped, and good awareness there by Tate Jones to give him a nice, easy assist to Greenberg, who puts away another great chance. Giving Mustangs a go-ahead goal here on that man-up.
As that makes the score 6-5, Middle Creek with 2:33 to go in the third quarter.
Another big face-off here. And Graham Schwartz is going to get it again.
A big win.
He tries to get it over, but it's knocked away. So knocked away by Cardinal Gibbons as Cardinal Gibbons comes up with it. Jalen Brooks was bringing up the field for the Crusaders, but then had knocked away.
And it will be Middle Creek possession. We saw a very good slap there by David Baird. And
that's insane hustle there by David Baird. He came all the way from the attack, hustling hard, and a good hit knocks it out. fumbles around and goes out of bounds. Middle Creek can capitalize. Oh, mishandled.
Ben Lever flicks it over to Cardinal Gibbons defenders, and now Tate Jones has it behind the net. Middle Creek going to try to regroup, but Tate Jones has other things in mind.
Yeah, smart play there by smart play there. As the goalie is going to get a penalty called on the goalie for running over.
Riley Meyer just body checked David Baird, and that's going to be an interference call. David Baird lost possession of the ball, but Riley had different ideas. Kind of just went for that cross check right at him, and he didn't have possession of it. Nothing he can do, and he's really struggling.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's actually a pretty smart play there by that goalkeeper. He's caught way out of position. Any shot there is going to be a goal, and granted, this penalty is not going to work well for Gibbons. I think you have a better chance of stopping a goal here than you do of just leaving an empty net there.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty, especially for Middle Creek, because Cardinal Gibbons isn't going to be able to put anybody in the goal. So, well, no, they have to put their backup goalie in. So that means Cardinal Gibbons, all of a sudden, your backup goalie kind of gets thrown into the fire and doesn't really have a chance to warm up.
So Charlie Schleen will be taking it in the net during this penalty, and like Bryce was saying earlier, and almost that was a good play by Riley Meyer, he didn't expect David to drop that ball. So it definitely was a good idea, but after the loss of the ball on the drop, it kind of escalated, and still complaining from Gibbons. And
the fans don't like that Charlie Sheen's getting Sheen is getting warm-up time because of the penalty. The fans aren't really in favor of that.
Well, and we're seeing a big surge from the Middle Creek fans here with a backup goalie, and they're definitely going to try to get in his head, and the crowd is getting a lot louder here at Mustang Stadium.
A man up and a backup goalie can't ask for much more.
Right. Oh, and it's mishandled there by Harrison, but they'll keep it.
Yeah, expect Cardinal Gibbons to pay price of defense here.
And what would have been a golden opportunity right there was mishandled. He was right there and no one there to mark him.
Cardinal Gibbons really tries to get up the field.
Incredible distribution there. He missed it, but in a man-up situation, I think they're completely fine with that distribution there.
And the possession will stay with Cardinal Gibbons. A little bit of complaining here from everyone from Middle Creek, kind of wondering what the call was. And referee saying it was a push. And Cardinal Gibbons, a man down, still going to try to take advantage of this.
Well, they're probably going to try to play more possession and just run the clock off. I don't think they're going to try to score here. I think that is a very poor idea, as a counterattack would be very easy to sniff out.
Yeah, like you said, they're probably just going to play some possession and get it to where the goalie can get back in. And as you see him, as Riley Mayer is signaling to Charlie to get off the field so that he can run into the goal because his penalty time is almost up.
So an interesting decision by Gibbons, not adding another guy to the offense, but just switching the goalie straight away. So they're going to – it's not something that you'd see usually, but –
well, and that decision by the goalie to get the penalty is really paying off, and they score on what was a man down and a goalie out with a backup. They've turned it into a positive to equalize right by the end of the third.
And a good play from Joe Torres, just went from his right to his left and just put that in the bottom left-hand corner. Lance Skelton looked like there might have been a screen, so he wasn't able to see it perfectly. And
yeah, I think the defense there just – they tried to deflect it, but were kind of caught on their heels there. They weren't really attacking like they have. They weren't really putting any pressure on him, and I guess just let him shoot, and he sinks the opportunity there to equalize with 30 seconds left. A lot of momentum going into the fourth if they don't allow a goal here.
So 29.1 seconds to go in the third. We're tied at 6.
That's incredible. After such a big opening from Middle Creek, the game's going to come down to one or two plays, and that's going to be really big.
Gibbons off the faceoff has a very good chance.
That's a great save. Lance Skelton, calm, does a great job there. Handles it with care.
with limited time left in the quarter. Ben Lever trying to get it off the Gibbons attack. They can't do so, and that's going to be a turnover from Gibbons.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. So at the end of the third quarter, heading into the fourth, the score is tied at 6. We'll be right back with the sports block.
It's time to show our...
And welcome back to the sports block as we're back for the start of the fourth quarter with the score tied at 6. So, as we talked about earlier, Middle Creek got out to a fast 4-0 lead, and since then, Cardinal Gibbons has outscored the Mustangs 6-2.
And I think when it gets down to the wire like this, and it's a matter of brute strength, mental toughness, I think the crowd plays a major impact on this. They can really impact the game here. And that's where Middle Creek at home has been great. And I think that's a big advantage in this last quarter here.
And that's going to be a turnover from Middle Creek as a bad change between Ben Lever and David Baird results in a Cardinal Gibbons ball. Not the way to start the fourth quarter.
No, and some mental errors here for Middle Creek. The defense really has to tighten up here. And they really need to get their offense back with that possession, getting good looks, and to get Gibbons out of their comfort zone, because Gibbons is just cruising on the offense right now.
Yeah, and like you talked about, Middle Creek has been really good at home over the years. This senior class, they haven't lost a game at home since their freshman year against Holly Springs and Apex. So, even their freshman year, no, they actually just their freshman year, they only lost to Holly Springs at home.
Yeah, who doesn't play good at home? Of course you're going to play better at home, but this team has been historically insane at home.
Yeah, and over the last 3 years, they have not lost a game at home. Over the last 3 years, only games they've lost is state championship, and then.
And I do not think that was a smart decision. He plays it back on his own side. And that could have been very negative. He should have just let that go out of bounds. He played it back in and gave Gibbons a major advantage there.
Chase Young tried to be the savior. Didn't work out too well, but Middle Creek does not give up a goal. We saw earlier in that possession a really good chance by Patrick King resulted in a very good save from Lance Skelton. Gibbons now still with possession, and Middle Creek defense trying to stay very compact down around the goal, not letting any opportunities from shooters like Caden Zadell and Trent Orr in the fourth quarter.
We'll stick here for the senior facilitator.
Well, on that save, that Lance Skelton was unhappy with the loss in the championship last year, and he's been even better this year after having an incredible season last year, as we see a good turnover there caught by Lance Skelton.
Good job of Skelton kind of sticking his stick out, and
Luke McDonald tries to take 2-on-1. He gets through Patrick King, but Trent Orr says no to that one. And Gibbons back with the ball and never got out of their own half.
And a big-time shot, but the hustle by Lance Skelton is going to pay off here. It hadn't before then, but it did there, and that's a big-time possession arrow going to Middle Creek there by Lance Skelton.
Yeah, all night you kind of been seeing him on shots that have gone wide past the goal that there wasn't a defender behind the goal. Him hustling back to try to get that for his offense.
Campion White moving quick into the offensive end. Finds Von Schmitz, who had a good chance to shoot. But he's going to rotate it back around, and now it's in the hands of Jake Caputo with a very strong Middle Creek attack out there.
Looked a little timid on that shot. I feel like he had a good opportunity there, but I think they're definitely the game plan is to put it in their surefire hands. And
Yeah, in a
Von
game,
Schmidt's smart there to
in a
hold
game
up.
this close, especially when the other team seems to have more momentum, you just kind of probably the message is do not take a shot unless you're like 100% sure you're going to make it.
Right, and if you hold possession here, it kind of is a momentum killer, you know? You're holding it, you're slowing it down. They're like, it's been a while since we scored it. Definitely changes the swing of the game.
Yeah, especially the more you hold it, you can let your playmakers like Tate Jones and Jay Caputo have more time to kind of figure out those little creases. That's off the post.
Off the post again. We've seen a lot of posts and crossbar shots tonight.
Yeah.
Both teams hitting the woodwork right there.
A big opportunity by Griffin Cooling, looking for his second of the night.
2-on-1 again for Gibbons, and that counter has been their key. And they almost put in the go-ahead goal in the middle of the fourth, which would have been a very much needed goal for either side.
Yeah, as Gibbons has not led at all tonight.
And the result or the cause of that last turnover might have been Jake Caputo coming off the field talking to the trainers right now. We hope to see him back on the field as soon as possible, but as of now, Gibbons doing a good job on the attack. Patrick King moves it over to Joe Torres, and it just gets the side of the net.
Yeah, and expect if Jake Caputo cannot come back in, expect Gibbons to, Jake Caputo is not in to kind of double team Tate Jones, as that's going to be the next go-to scorer from Middle Creek.
Well, look at the distribution from Lance Skelton all the way over the top to Luke McDonald to slow it down, calm it down, and put Middle Creek in a great position here with the ball.
And with Caputo out, Middle Creek, they're going to go with that slower pace of play. You can see the replacement with Campion White and Braden Harrison have been a couple of guys. Now seeing Carson Scott enter the field. Those are the guys you're going to have to see in this fourth quarter take advantage of this Gibbons defense.
Well, and with Caputo off, you could see that Gibbons is playing a lot more aggressive. You know, they're not really worried about a threat of Caputo if they get the ball over to him. So they're getting to play a lot more aggressively and try to force a turnover here with unsure hands on the field.
Yeah, I'm sure Cardinal Gibbons and the rest of the SWAC, especially like Apex, and are going to be happy once the season's done for Middle Creek. They don't have to face any of the Caputos anymore.
Yes, definitely.
Graham Schwartz now working it behind the net. He's got a lot of options.
As
Gets double teamed, and he's going to find Tate Jones. He's behind the net now, makes a move to his
Tate
left and
Green
makes it.
scores! Makes the score 7-6 Middle Creek with 6:19 to go in the fourth.
A big-time move there. He
Huge.
got just enough space and a brilliant shot by Tate Jones. He's had an incredible season, and he comes up big in the clutch.
Huge
Incredible.
goal.
Just what Middle Creek needed. Jake Caputo still on the sidelines, and Tate Jones says it's my time to shine. 7-6 Mustangs.
And it's going to be an official timeout for what looks to be an injured Mustang.
As do you have an injury here? So we're going to take a quick injury timeout with 5:19 to go with 6:19 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back to the sports block. And welcome back to the sports block, guys. We're back after a quick injury timeout here.
But it is a very costly injury timeout here, as it is Graham Schwartz, the face-off man, now out. So we are going to see a different face-off man in Luke McDonald here. He has been electric all night, and we'll see if he can get it done on the face-off here.
A massive face-off here. Middle Creek wants to build up on their lead. Gibbons wants to shut it down, and late in this fourth quarter, Gibbons will be the winner.
And Gibbons is a very good face-off team and experienced. They clearly just made sure they got it done, as we've seen a very good face-off battle. Definitely in Middle Creek's favor, but a good face-off battle all night.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the Mustangs that Graham Schwartz wasn't able to take the face-off, as he's been one of the best face-off mans for the last 4 years. And then along with Jay Caputo, your best player.
Oh, and he just bagged a great assist, and wow.
Matt Pancoast, he just went through the whole defense, it seemed.
What moves. He cut to the crease right there near that pole and somehow was able to bring the stick over and cut back inside for a great look with a full net. As a goalkeeper, there's nothing you can do about that. It's really just all reaction based. And Lance Skelton, unluckily, was not able to get a stick to that, as he's done all night. His reaction saves have been flawless, but you're not stopping a move like that.
And just like that, we're tied again. We're tied at 7. Graham Schwartz will be back for the face-off.
That's definitely a good thing to see as a Middle Creek fans. Good to see Graham Schwartz back out there.
As he will face off against Jalen Brooks. As Brooks wins that cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like Schwartz is a little off. Didn't look like himself there. And we're going to see a timeout here. Settle things down on the Middle Creek side.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Sports Blog. And welcome back to the Sports Block, as we're back after a quick timeout with the score tied at 7 with 5:34 to go in the fourth quarter. So this game is probably going to come down to the wire here in terms of who wins.
Oh, yeah. Middle Creek home playoff games have all been close this year, except for the first couple games from lacrosse, but we're not going to be seeing that here. In an Eastern final like this, I don't think anybody expected anything less than a game going down to the wire here.
No. And credit Gibbons for battling back after being down 4-0 early. Looked like they might get the reels run off of them, as that's a block right here behind the back. And Gibbons is going to score a go-ahead goal.
Caden Zadell, you could see him on the initial shot. It was saved by Skelton. He's unfortunate, or he wasn't able to get it out of the zone. Zadell blocks it, turns around, in a wide open net waiting for Gibbons.
And Lance Skelton is hurt, so we're going to take an injury timeout, with Cardinal Gibbons leading the Mustangs 8-7 with 5:11 left to go in the game. You're watching the Sports Blog. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back after an injury timeout for David Baird of the Mustangs. And as he's with the score, Cardinal Gibbons 8, Middle Creek 7, Baird's able to get off the field, which appears to get off the field under his own power. And it looked like they were just kind of stretching him out. So it looked like he had a bad cramp out on the field. So that's a good sign if you're the Mustangs, as Baird's kind of been a rotational player. Kind of started out as a rotational player back in his freshman year, has now become one of your bona fide starters on offense for the last couple of years.
Middle Creek trying to strike back quick. You don't want that pressure of the clock winding down. They're going to try to get something quick and get some good opportunities early and just really just pelt the goalkeeper with as many shots as they can and hope one of them gets through, you know. You put enough shots on target, one of them will find the back of the net.
And even after giving up that last goal, you love to see the Creek Crazies get into it. And after this face-off, you can see Ben Lever, Luke McDonald waiting to see what happens. And
neither.
Gibbons will get it. A good shove from Chase Young, and Middle Creek will result with the ball, and it's a beautiful pass from Ben Lever to Luke McDonald, and here come the Mustangs.
Luke McDonald in transition. He's going to look to slow it down here.
Middle Creek looking to tie it up after Gibbons took his first lead of the night.
And what an opportunity from Braden Harrison, one-on-one versus the keeper. And we see almost a replica of what just happened earlier as the goalkeeper's unable to clear the ball.
Middle Creek possession here, and that's big. We nearly saw the exact same goal and the same mistake from the goalkeeper on the other end. You're seeing the hustle. We're seeing teams pressuring each other, and that's what you expect in these last minutes. And we are in for a great final five.
Carson Scott now with the ball, moving it down that right-hand side. He rotated it over to Nathan Greenberg behind the net.
Greenberg's been the key for Middle Creek so far. He's been flawless from range. And I'm sure Middle Creek's going to be looking to see him with a good opportunity.
Back to Carson Scott. He's going to get stripped, though. But there to save the day is Tate Jones, but it will be Cardinal Gibbons' possession.
No,
he's going to flip it.
Oh, he's going to flip it and send it Middle Creek's way.
So
and that is a key play right there for Middle Creek. You need to keep possession here. You don't want them to be able to run that clock and possibly get a goal on over aggression.
A long referee call there results in Middle Creek ball. Tate Jones now working it behind the net with those quick feet that we know. Greenberg back to Jones. He's going to move around the left hand.
You're looking Greenberg and Jones here. Greenberg from distance. Oh, the pass was deflected.
Greenberg wasn't able to, just kind of went right over his stick.
No flag, but now here's Carson Scott over to Schwartz, and that's going to be a Middle Creek timeout. Want to keep that possession.
So with Cardinal Gibbons leading 8-7, we're going to have a Middle Creek timeout with 3:29 to go in the fourth quarter. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog as we're back after a quick Middle Creek timeout with Cardinal Gibbons leading 8-7 with 3:29 to go in the fourth quarter. So Middle Creek's going to have the ball. You can hear the crowd getting amped up, kind of trying to encourage the Middle Creek in this final little stretch, hoping to not only tie this game up, but eventually take the lead and advance to its third straight state championship.
Yeah, Middle Creek's going to need to put it to the right man here. We're thinking Greenberg, Tate Jones, and of course, anybody with the last name Caputo is good, I'd assume, in scoring goals.
Yeah, I think that's a good assumption.
Here's Greenberg's got some space, turns over to his left.
Greenberg
fires
from range, and he saves it on the line.
Gibbons quick to move it up the field.
Gibbons
Here's
with
Patrick
counterattack.
King over to
And that's going to be a
Caden
goal.
Zadell, and that's his fourth of the night.
And that
He
gives
sealed 2 in the final 5 minutes here. It's been incredible from him. He's
And that gives,
really put it on at the end.
Cardinal Gibbons a 9-7 lead with 2:51 to go in the fourth quarter.
On Gibbons, I mean, they haven't been up in possession. Their attack really hasn't looked better than Middle Creek's. It's just that counterattack has been absolutely lethal, and the speed of Gibbons in the midfield has really just taken control of this game. When you don't have time to set that defense, you get open space, and it's worked well for them.
Late in games like these, when you're down, all your focus is going to that offensive end, and like you said, they just aren't ready on that defensive end. Gibbons up 2 now late in this fourth quarter.
And Graham Schwartz is going to get called for a violation on the face-off, so it's going to be Cardinal Gibbons' ball. And don't expect Cardinal Gibbons to go quick here. Expect them just to probably try to burn a bunch of clock and eventually take a good shot if they have one. Because with a 2-goal lead with 2:40 to go, you should be in no hurry to take a shot. But expect Middle Creek to play, especially as the clock winds down, to kind of really be more aggressive in trying to get the ball back.
Yeah, I'd expect more pressure here from Middle Creek. They're kind of just sitting back, and I guess they're just waiting on something, but they are not really putting the pressure on here.
Coach Lodi yelling, trying to tell them to get more pressure as we have a double team behind the goal. As Middle Creek's as King has it now, kind of being double team there.
Patrick King held on this ball for a long time. Chase Young's unable to strip it. Goes after it again. Braden Harrison following. Patrick King still with it. He tries to make a cut and he loses it. Chase Young picks it up and
he loses it, but knocks it away.
And Ben Lever's making his way up the field. Middle Creek.
Great handling there from Ben Lever to pick it up with ease, and they're going to look for a quick goal here.
There's David Baird.
Only 90 seconds remaining. Middle Creek needs to get something going fast.
Baird
Here
had
it could
Caputo.
be on the crease. Saved on the line again.
So Mayer will get it down, but the pass is mishandled. Lever comes up with it again.
Here comes Ben Lever.
Lever,
And unable to
Pass
grab it is Tate
mishandled.
Jones, and he is going to want that one back.
there's been a couple of
That's
times tonight where there was just passes that kind of seems like that's been a theme tonight from Middle Creek. Just passes, just not connecting on the passes they usually connect on.
Timeout, Middle Creek.
As we're going to have a timeout here by Middle Creek with Cardinal Gibbons leading 9-7 with 1:08 to go in the game. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Block, as we're back after a Middle Creek timeout with Cardinal Gibbons leading, with the Crusaders leading the Mustangs 9-7 with 1:08 to go in the game. So this is crunch time here for Middle Creek, as a pass from Ben Lever to Tate Jones was not able to connect. So it's going to be Cardinal Gibbons' ball.
Cardinal Gibbons does have the ball, but they are pinned back in their own half. You can see a double team incoming from Ben Lever and Luke McDonald. They clear it up the field quick, and it's going to go out of bounds. Middle Creek ball. They got to go.
Middle Creek's going to go fast here as David Baird brings it in.
Owen Harrison, and you may see
Quick pass over to Ben Lever. Ben Lever with the shot just wide. It's going to be Cardinal Gibbons' ball with 55.5 seconds to go.
You can see Lance Skelton joining the defense, and Cardinal Gibbons is going to lose it again. Middle Creek's got to go.
And if Middle Creek comes back in this, it's going to be on completely Gibbons mishandling this. I mean, they have poorly ran out this clock.
Harrison goes way up the field. That is unexpected, and it's just going to result in a turnover.
We're going to have an over back call here on Cardinal Gibbons. So this is going to be Middle Creek ball here.
That is a big call there. That is a game changer. Middle Creek having the ball settled near the attacking area. And with 46 seconds to go, they're going to need to get something going quick.
Here comes David Baird on the right-hand side. Something's got to be quick.
Baird back to Greenberg.
Greenberg over to Jones. He's got to redeem
Jones.
himself from earlier.
Jones
He gets a shove and no call. Gibbons with the ball now.
With
And
30 seconds to go.
they clear it up the field. It's going to be a battle. And coming up with it, Christian Daniels, a big hit, but Patrick King is ready for it. And Gibbons will result with the ball.
That could prove to be the end of this.
And
here.
there's going to be a penalty here called on Gibbons. So Middle Creek's going to have a man up.
An excessive celebration on Patrick King. After that check, he was ready to just probably said something bad on the field. But he knew he did it. He ran off straight away.
Definitely in the emotions of things.
And
It appears to be maybe offsetting.
And only 20 seconds left in this game, but Gibbons seems to be just giving up any chance they have to close it out.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
not done well in these closing minutes, but with just how hectic it's been, I don't think Middle Creek's really had a clear chance on their mistakes. With 20 seconds left, they could put on something, but they really got to hustle.
with how good Middle Creek's offense has been all year, if they get a quick goal here and then win the face-off, nothing is
They got to fire soon. Here's David Baird makes a move, and a whistle's called.
And
the
Gibbons
clock
fans
did not
happy.
start.
The
So
clock did not move.
And while it was a good play by Middle Creek, David Baird was not able to find the back of the net. It may be something that Middle Creek's happy about, but the crowd is very...
The goal could have been wiped off completely due to the clock not starting. And
they're going to put 20 seconds back on the clock.
Looks like 20.4 will be put on the clock.
So Middle Creek's going to restart from where it did before the clock.
Referee's still waiting for it to happen. Head director Robbie Ray trying to notify those up top. It's 20.4, and everyone's getting a little uneasy about the whole situation. And attacker Braden Harrison is ready to go once this whistle is called. And here we go. 20.4 left. Middle Creek down 2. Here comes Braden Harrison. Moves it over to Nathan Greenberg.
Greenberg
Over to
Over
David Baird.
here.
Fires.
is
Missed.
wide with 12.5 to go. Middle Creek needs a goal almost immediately if it wants a chance.
Tate Jones in the middle. It's a scramble up front. Gibbons comes away with it, and they are going to be running out the clock.
Cardinal Gibbons is going to be your 2019 4A East men's lacrosse champions with a final score of 9-7. So Cardinal Gibbons, for their third time in a row, the third meeting in a row, they finally come out victorious with a 9-7 victory. We'll be right back for the ceremony. You're watching the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the ceremony. As your final score again was 9-7 Cardinal Gibbons. So, once again, the final score was 9-7 Cardinal Gibbons. Kind of a tough loss for the senior class of Middle Creek, but nothing to be ashamed of what they accomplished. A quarterfinal appearance, a regional runner-up, a state championship, and a state runner-up. Definitely nothing to be ashamed of for this senior class.
Oh yeah, and I mean, of course they're going to be expecting more. This is a team of excellence. I mean, this is a team that always can put a run on for the state championship. But I mean, in this game they were just out hustled a little bit. A little mental mistake here or there. I mean, just the little differences in the game.
And really, the story of this game was Middle Creek got out to a fast start, got a quick early goal. So we're going to hand it over to the PA announcer for the ceremony.
Coaches and captains to go to the midfield to accept the regional runner-up trophy. Congratulations on a great season, Mustangs. Now we'd like to, for the regional champions, the Cardinal Gibbons Crusaders, and the coaches and captains to go to the midfield to accept the regional championship trophy. Congratulations and good luck at the state championship this weekend.
Final score is Cardinal Gibbons 9, Middle Creek 7. Signing off one final time, I'm Adam Ireland with
Charlie
Charlie Reason. Thank you for watching the Sports Block.